y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taryn and you're watching Sew in the City on YouTube. So as you can see, we are inside of the house today as opposed to being outside in the garden, and that is because I have a video for you today where I will be discussing with you the 6 plants that I will not be growing this year and why. So if you're interested, please stay and watch this video. But before we get to that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, okay? And let's go. Okay, so one thing that I like to do after every garden season is I basically like to just sit down and really think about what worked and what didn't. And when I thought about all the things that worked last year and all the things that didn't work last year, I came up with 6 specific plants that I will not be growing again, okay? And this does not mean that I don't like these plants. It doesn't mean that I have anything against the actual fruit that produces on these plants. It just means that for whatever reason, it just didn't really work for my garden, and therefore I have decided not to grow it again. Okay, so the first one will be sugar baby watermelons. Now, again, this does not mean that I don't like sugar baby watermelons. I actually love them. But when it comes to me, I think that although I do have a nice sized backyard and I'm very grateful for it, I think that having to wait as long as you have to wait to grow watermelons only to get, you know, these relatively small watermelons just isn't something that I enjoy. I would rather harvest the really big watermelons, like the, you know, the oval sized watermelons. Those are the ones that I like because you just get more bang for your buck, right? You know, it takes a while for these watermelons to grow, and it can be a little bit difficult to grow them, especially when you have the soil that I have. So when I do get a harvest, I like to, you know, have a larger size watermelon to work with, and I could you know, use it in recipes and all that kind of stuff. But sugar baby watermelons are quite small. They are super delicious, but they're a little small. So this year I will be sticking with the larger watermelon varieties as opposed to the sugar baby, okay? But I still love my sugar baby, so don't get mad at me. So another plant that I will not be growing again, and honestly, a few of these on the list, like, I will probably grow them again in a few years, but this particular plant, I'm not growing it again ever again, okay? And that would be the lemon cucumber. Oh my goodness, you guys. So overall, I don't really have a problem with the taste of the lemon cucumber, although it does really just taste like a super sour cucumber. I guess that's why it's called lemon cucumber. My issue with the lemon cucumber is it was just too much. And a lot of that was my fault. Well, me and my dad's fault. So basically, when we first started gardening, we decided to just get this lemon cucumber plant from Home Depot. We were really excited to plant everything. That's when we were just planting everything just because we were new gardeners and we were just like super excited. So we decided to plant this lemon cucumber even though we never had a lemon cucumber before. We planted it and we got so many lemon cucumbers. Like, we harvested at least 15 to 20 a day when the height of the summer season was going on. Like 15 to 20 a day, I kid you not. And that was a lot. And then on top of that, when the season ended and we were done with the garden, my dad liked to, at the time, he liked to till the garden. We don't do that anymore, but he would till the garden. And so we put out all of the lemon cucumber plants, right? Or so we thought. So my dad tilled the garden and everything, and then he put the soil back together, and we left the garden alone, right? Because the season was over. Well, a few weeks I came back to the garden and I was like, why do I see all these seedlings in the ground? Like, why are there so many seedlings? Like, we took everything up. Like, what's this all about? Why do we have seedlings in the ground? Well, when we thought we had taken up all the lemon cucumbers, we didn't. Apparently, we left like 1 or 2 lemon cucumbers that had rotten, you know, that kind of like gotten overripe. Apparently, we had left a few of those in the ground. So when my dad tilled the soil, he basically just like planted dozens of lemon cucumber seeds all in the soil. And so we had to single-handedly pull up these lemon cucumber seedlings that had sprouted because they were left in the soil when my dad tilled over it. So I had to single-handedly pick up all those seedlings from the ground, and it was horrible. It was hundreds of seedlings. It was horrible. So now I'm traumatized, and because of our mistake, I won't be growing mini cucumbers ever again. And I do mean never ever again, okay? So the next plant that I will not be growing this year will be corn. I know this might be controversial as well, but I don't have a problem with the plant itself. It's actually a beautiful plant. I like growing corn. I mean, it's a beautiful, it's very pretty, but I don't eat that much corn aside from popcorn. And so I don't know if it's that important for me to grow corn just so I can have like a lot of popcorn kernels that I can use. Aside from eating popcorn and eating grits, that's really all I would use it for. So I just don't think that at this point in my life it's not that necessary to grow corn. Again, it's not because I don't like the plant or I had an issue with the plant. I just don't use corn in enough variety of ways for me to just grow it. And corn takes a while to grow. Well, the actual cob takes a while for it to grow to the point where it can be harvested. So at this point, I just don't think I'll be growing corn. That's not to say that I won't grow it again in the future. I very much may, but right now, I don't think so. So the next plant that I will not be growing this year is Brandywine tomatoes. Now, I know a lot of you all are like probably thinking those are some of the best tasting tomatoes, and you know what? You're right. They are absolutely delicious. And when I was first started my garden, Brandywine tomatoes were the first tomatoes that I really grew myself, and they were so delicious. Like when I picked them off the plant and I would smell them, the aroma was amazing. It had such a strong smell, a vibrant smell. It was delicious, savory. But the problem that I have with Brandywine tomatoes is that it's just difficult to grow in regards to the plant itself. For example, this summer gets very hot. Memphis has hot summers, and that means that sometimes I will need to grow plants that are heat resistant, right? I will need to grow plants that are heat resistant. Well, the Brandywine tomato is not heat resistant at all. It would get so hot that the plant would kind of wilt, even though I kept it sufficiently watered, right? Twice a day when it starts to get over 90 degrees. I always did that, but it was still too much. And then it was very prone to diseases, right? I'm not sure like the different kinds of diseases specifically that they are prone to, but I definitely saw a lot of, spots on the leaves and just the leaves just dying off. And, even though it was still the beginning of the season, and it was just, it was prone to a lot of diseases, pests. A lot of pests like to get on the plant. Now I know pests love tomatoes, and I get that, but it just seemed like the Brandywine tomato got the brunt of that issue, especially with hornworms and other things, and lots of cracks. Like, some of the tomatoes had cracks in them, and I know that could happen when you don't, when you are inadequately watering your plants. But I truly feel that I only watered my plants when they needed to be, and when it got to the point where it was over 90 degrees, I always make sure to water twice a day, in the morning and at night. And I didn't overwater. I always checked with my finger, right? So I don't think it was that issue. I think it was just the plant. The Brandywine tomatoes, as wonderful as they taste, as delicious as they taste, I do believe that unfortunately they are not the best when it comes to disease resistance, pest resistance, and heat resistance. So I won't be growing them again this year, okay? Okay, so the next plant that I will not be growing this year will be the long eggplant, the long purple eggplant. So when I was first starting to garden, I was just growing everything, and one of the things that I really grew a lot was eggplants. Now, I love growing eggplants, but this one variety of eggplant that I grew, I realized that I probably shouldn't have grown it. One, because it just produces so many eggplants. And even though I do love eating eggplants, my God, I cannot, that's just too much. It was a lot. it was truly a lot. And I only have so much space in my house to you know, store things, so it was a lot. And even though I could have sold some of those eggplants, a lot of my neighbors and things didn't like that variety either. So the long eggplant is just exactly what it sounds like. It's the version of an eggplant that's very skinny and very long. And it's just, it was hard for me to try to figure out what recipes to use with it, just because I'm used to eating that particular kind of eggplant. And I really feel like when you're growing plants, you should grow what you want to use and what you really like to eat and what you're accustomed to eating. And so for me, although I'm sure the long skinny purple eggplant is delicious, I just wasn't used to that variety. So at this point in time, I don't think I'll grow it this year. Now again, that's not to say that I'm not going to grow eggplants. I will be growing the traditional eggplant that's a little bit bigger and fattier. I just won't be growing the skinny eggplant. So the last thing on my list that I will not be growing again this year is the purple sweet potatoes. So again, the purple sweet potatoes is one of those things that I grew just because I thought it was really pretty, and I was just like, why not? Let's grow purple sweet potatoes, right? Let's be different. But the thing is, even though they taste delicious, why do I need purple sweet potatoes, right? It's like, I need to just keep it simple, especially because I love to make sweet potato pie all throughout the year. And I'm like, so now I'm going to have a purple sweet potato pie. You know, it's just extra. This is like just being too different. I would honestly rather have the regular sweet potato pie, the you know, regular orange sweet potato pie. So yeah, I'm not going to go purple sweet potatoes. I had no issues in regards to the plant itself. It was great, actually. It did great. It held up its own, especially in the heat. And last summer, we didn't really have as much rain as we should have gotten. And it held up its own. It did well with the pests. It actually did really well. But I'm just like, do I want to eat purple sweet potatoes? Seriously. No. I mean, not if I could choose between purple and regular sweet potatoes, give me the regular sweet potatoes. Like, that's fine with me. So this summer, I'm going to be doing regular sweet potatoes. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to actually like buy sweet potato slips from somewhere or make my own sweet potato slips. I'm going to decide on that very soon. But yeah, I'm definitely doing regular sweet potatoes just because I don't need purple sweet potatoes. I mean, you know, I don't have to be that extra. Okay, y'all, that was the video for today. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. And don't forget, if you did like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you feel inclined to do so, you can share this video with your friends and family. I would greatly appreciate it, okay? And don't forget, no matter what you're going through, no matter how stressful your day is, just keep sowing. Thank y'all for watching. Bye!